Yo guys, what is going on? Guess who's back at, I guess, doing a video. So, yes, I have been AFK for about 2 months, but I do have a little bit of an excuse because I did get a new job and didn't have too much time. And I mean, the patch was like slowing down a little bit and wasn't as fun anymore. But I recorded this gameplay about maybe like 2 months ago, and I already made the thumbnail for it with Photoshop, like my first real one with Photoshop. The ones before were with like a crappy software. But I really wanted to share this one because this is a key, and maybe some of you spotted it already by the name of the Demon Hunter with the one and only Fragrance from Echo. Yes, this is the other side 16, me on my Enhancement Shaman, and obviously Fragnance is tanking as a Vengeance Demon Hunter, and one of my buddies, the Survival Hunter 360, is also in there. So he made his Survival Hunter. I don't even think that he has faucet yet, so this might be because the reason why he's so far behind the other Survival Hunter, which has, I guess, Mythic Gear and Faucet. Um, yeah. So how did we get the opportunity to play with Fragments? This was actually kind of funny. This is on Wednesday, recorded on Wednesday in the morning, or maybe during the middle of the day, and we just hopped on as usual on our mornings, opened our vault, and um, yeah, and started doing some keys because we were bored, obviously. And so we just looked around the dungeon finder, and we did actually find his key. He was putting like up a key with this new demon hunter, and this was actually the demon hunter that he used in the race to at first, but it wasn't like that crazily geared. Because I think he took a break after race to world first, obviously. So he just wanted to do some weekly keys to get some gear. About 4 keys we did with him, and yeah, he invited us because I wrote faucet in the in my application, and he assumed that both of us had a faucet, but then we were looking at the stream because obviously he's streaming at this time right now, the keys, and we were just hoping, oh no, don't inspect our hunter buddy. Hopefully he doesn't mind that he doesn't have a faucet, and he didn't mind. He's very chill in these keys because obviously 15 keys are, or 16 in this case, really aren't that hard. So yeah, that's that. We did in total do 4 keys. Um, 2 the other sides, 1 necrotic wake, which the necrotic wake was the first one. It was the best one, I think, as well. But I forgot to press record early enough, so I only have like half of the footage. So if you want to see a half a necrotic wake, just let me know. Yeah, so and the fourth key is Mist of Genocide. That was alright as well. Yeah, so as I said, the footage is pretty old. My item level is about 268 at this key equipped, and as of right now, my Shaman is pretty much capped with the current level of raid progression that we always actually have with our guild, which is at 278. Um, yeah. So it was quite fun because, as you can see, the affixes are um, bolstering, cracking, and obviously fortified. And Fragments really didn't give a single shit about bolstering. So, as you will see in the art wheel area, there's some crazy, kind of crazy pulls. And yeah, uh, just pulling half of the art wheel and don't even mind bolstering. So it's pretty chaotic, but that's the fun thing when you play with a streamer. Um, they just don't give a shit. They just play it on the highest level and just want to do some chill keys, obviously. So and the audio in the background, you should hear some game sound and you should hear Fragments talking in the background as well. So if you have never played with a streamer before, this is how it goes. They are most likely streaming and talking to their Twitch, and while they are talking to our Twitch, they assume that we, the guys that he's playing with, are in the Twitch chat as well. So he is doing calls for us in his Twitch chat, and I opened my second monitor and put him on there, and just to know what is going on. So yeah, and I don't know if you ever watched some keys from some streams of him, and he can be just randomly AFK for like, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes or so, and not tell anyone in this group. And we are wondering like, yeah, okay, dude, are we doing the next key or are we just chilling here? But yeah, overall, apart from these things, it's very fun to play with streamers, obviously, because I don't know, it's just an experience to play with people that you really, really look up to. Yeah, Fragrance was actually the reason I was maining Demon Hunter, Havoc Demon Hunter in the last patch. Because I was watching the race to World First and thought the momentum build, the one where you dash around a lot, which was the build that you played at that time, was super fun. And yeah, that's why I tried it. And I was using his interface for quite some time. If you guys remember, all of my other YouTube videos were probably with his interface, or maybe part of my interface was from him, which was the black health bars from party members, and the cooldowns, the weak aura cooldowns were from him as well. But I kind of went away from that, and I'm using the Luxtos setup right now, and a very slim setup, which doesn't need LFUI, because my PC was slowing down in the raid quite a few times, and I think I talked about this in one of my last videos. So yeah, that's where I switched to a setup that doesn't need FUI and is very, very slim and light on the CPU, so I can have as much frames as possible. Yeah, I'm not really going to talk much about the gameplay, because it's quite the old footage and nothing special. Um, Nothing special right now, because it's just the 16. As of right now, when I'm recording this video, my Enhancement Shaman pushed a few keys. I think the best keys I did with my buddies were 24s, and that made me get to rank second or third on the server, on my server, and I don't know, maybe um, like 200, 300 in the world. So, which is okay. We didn't really push too much, but just some weekends where we had time and everyone was there. Um, yeah, and this this is the week before the new patch comes out. I'm recording on the 29th of May, and the 9.2.5 patch is coming out, and one thing that is really nice about it is that Windwalker Monk is getting a huge single target buff, like about every single ability that contributes to a single target is getting buffed by about 20%, which is incredible. And I have been playing Windwalker Monk for the entirety of Shadowlands. It was never my main, but I was always playing Windwalker as my side character, and had pretty much a mythic geared Windwalker all the time, which is the case right now as well. I have one with about 275 or maybe 276 item level. Oh, this is weird. I'm not getting into stealth because for some reason I'm in combat. Yeah, a little bit awkward there, but we managed. So what I wanted to say, you will probably, if I can, if I have the motivation to upload some videos on YouTube, will see some Windwalker gameplay. after the new patch and see how it does. Because already, if you guys are following the MDI, some people are playing Windwalker in keys. Um, a lot of times it is because you need a very stable Necrolord for maybe Blackfall or Theater of Pain, or just because Windwalker is one of um, the best specs in AoE right now. Um, I mean, apart from Survival Hunter and Destro Warlock, which are in every single MDI key, like literally every single one. The third flex spot, sometimes being taken by Windwalker, sometimes like mages, sometimes rogues. Oh, and here we wanted to skip actually, and yeah, someone pulled the drill, and I think Fragnance kind of likes us because we did the key with him before, and so everything that goes wrong, he is blaming on the other survival hunter, the Ready Fläche, I think. Yeah, which is kind of funny. He's doing a good bit more damage than we, but I guess it's just survival hunter with foresight. Um, yeah, and what I wanted to say, so if you guys are interested in Windwalker Monk gameplay, just stick around. Or if you want to see some more, actually high key um, enhancement shaman, yeah, I can do that as well if we come around to push some keys around the level. I mean, I can pack 21 keys easily on my enhancement shaman and get into groups really quickly. Same for my Windwalker, I think. Um, the Windwalker is didn't hit is about at 2,900 Rio, and my enhancement shaman at about 3,250 or so, or 80, I think. Um, so should be doable to get a keys, and especially with the buff to Windwalker in the next patch. If oh, this is what I'm talking about. We're doing these super spicy pulls. Uh, 3 lubricators is very hard to pull off in Fortified when you don't really communicate that much. So yeah, I died here just using Ankh, and I think Fragrance wants us to line the cars now because like we don't have any coordination, so we can really get every cast, get every kick. And sadly, our paladin healer, I don't think he was particularly good. Died very early on this pull, so this is going to be a rough one, very messy. But I think I am going to manage, if I can remember correctly. I'm lining very decently, doing damage when I can. And obviously the important thing is to interrupt the heal cast. Um, and what you saw right there, Fragnance uses Silent Sigil to silence all three and interrupt at least one of the heal casts. So this is the stuff that you can very well expect from world first players when you play with them. They are just, as you can see, he's actually doing most damage in this pull and playing mechanics very nice, very neatly. And I think he's playing an MDI as well. Um, I, I'm not quite sure actually what the Echo roster is, but Echo is obviously pumping this season as well. So there was a neat thing that I did. I used my Necrolord ability on one of the slimes to get more haste from my lightning bolt. Just a cheeky little thing that you can do. Um, yeah, so I am actually not quite sure if we time this key. It would be pretty bad if we don't, but it doesn't really matter in this case because all he wanted to do was do 4 weekly keys. Oh, there he used the Fear Sigil. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure what we are doing here, if we time this or not, but it would be actually quite this shame if we don't. Um, so the reason why I'm actually wanting to upload this video, apart from already doing the thumbnail and don't want it going to waste this because I couldn't do much else this weekend. I was on a festival on Thursday, I think, which was like a local electro festival here, and which went on for about from I think 14 p.m. to all the way to the night, and midday through the day I hurt my foot quite badly, and obviously in Germany, if we go to these festivals, electro festivals, we are very drunk, mostly every day. So I didn't really mind if my foot hurt and didn't really notice. So I went on and just kept raving all day long. And yeah, the next day my foot was not very happy about that. So I couldn't really walk and had to take it slow the whole rest of the weekend that we had. So I'm just sitting here watching a lot of Netflix and watching YouTube, live streams, everything. And towards the end of the weekend, I was just so bored that I couldn't bother watching its streams anymore. So yeah, recording YouTube commentary actually because yeah, obviously the content was there already. Um, but yeah, that's what you do if you are getting too bored. But overall, the festival was quite nice. Oh, this is I'm not quite sure if you can hear how loud I'm going to make the voice of fragrance because it might be interfering with what my commentary is doing. Uh, but sometimes he's going to just put his music in the stream on super loud when he's vibing, and yeah, you might be that's what you're hearing in the background. So we are just about to finishing off the mana storms. Not a big problem on fortified, and yeah, kind of sad how strong survival hunters are. That he's just doing so much more damage even in single target. I didn't really look if he put a lot of damage into the relics at the pull, because that's one way to for AoE classes to pump up your damage a lot on bosses, even if they are single target bosses. Just put all of your AoE into the three relics, and obviously the Ur relic or whatever relic you are going to kill first, and you will be looking splendid overall, which is one thing that I'm doing on my Windwalker uh, quite a lot. But it's not like I'm not doing efficient damage and I'm inting the key. It is more like you are going to be using your cooldowns on pull anyway, and I can make sure to get the right relic with Touch of Death or a little bit of focus damage. So what it does is just kill the relics really fast while doing obviously as much priority target to the boss as I can. Um, it's on lower keys obviously. And there I typed in the chat. I think Fragnance was asking about what Covenant I'm playing or what we are playing, and at that point it wasn't really that known that Enhancement Shaman are playing Necrolord and Keys. Uh, it's obviously because of all of the haste that we are getting from hitting about 5 targets with our Lightning Bolt, which is kind of crazy. So, and as you could see in the last pull, I was doing about 19k on that pull with all my cooldowns on basically a single target warp. So the burst really is there. Um, but what we can do in our boss situations, we are lacking in AoE obviously, because we are target capped, and you will see. I don't know why I'm smiling so much, but I guess I was just really happy that I got the opportunity to play with Fragments. So now comes the spicy part. I would say the Ardenweald area. So this is usually where you go to pet your DPS, your overall DPS a little bit. Right now I'm just at 50k, which to modern standards, I'm talking modern standards like um, in the meaning of what I'm doing today with about 10 items or more. It is not too much in a the other side key. So we didn't even finish walking through the tunnel, and he's already collecting all of the ads that he could actually find. Nearly dying. The, I don't know. These are about 50 to 20 mobs, and we have bolstering, and there's these deers. Um, I don't know what they are called really. In these pools, which do have a lot more health than the other mobs. So these things are going to get very, very bolstered. So if you're interested, you can kind of track your the cooldowns of our Demon Hunter from FRAGNANCE. Um, so he does have meta available. He just used Feldev, so he will probably be able to kite a little more. But these mobs are so bothersome, and I got hit by one of the stars falling from the sky. And as if you didn't know, these skies actually are not like from the area or from dungeon overall. These are from the big. Oh, they are called stacks. Stacks. That's what they're called. The big deers. And if one of these things is bolstered, or if it's just a very high key, a single one of these AoE circles will just one-shot you. And they are so hard to see if there are so many mobs. And I got the worst pattern here as well. But I think the pull is still alive. Fragrance used his meta, the big cooldown. And got his Feldaff back. Yes, yes. So yeah, like he doesn't even care. These things are bolstered. These are the stacks, by the way, that I was talking about. These mobs are bolstered to hell, and he just doesn't even care because he's able to manage his cooldowns quite easily, quite well. So now he was talking about doing another big setup. I was actually body pulling here, but not a problem. He's just going to collect them and jump into the next 10 mobs. He doesn't even give a fuck about the urn, which stuns all the mobs. And I don't even know if we have a Night Fae in our group. Actually, we don't. Survival Hunters are Kyrian. Yeah, Paladins really are Night Fae, usually. Demon Hunters aren't as well. Oh, the Paladin will one-shot probably from one of the stars falling from the sky. From... Oh, that was so close for me as well. Oh, and now everyone's dead. Apart from my Hunter buddy and me. And here I think I'm typing kinda target capped. Only doing 25k on these pulls. That's so stupid. Fragnance is like, yeah, it's so fucking boring to pull about bolstering. And I agree. Bolstering is actually not, it's not really a fun FX. So, one of the things that they should do for the next expansion Dragonflight is maybe add a curse element to every single one of these affixes. This is originally not my idea. I think it's from Dreadnoughts or Tattles from one of their videos. Is the idea is this is very easily explained at Necrotic, the affix that stacks up the debuff from the auto attacks from the mobs and makes it healing debuff. Oh, there's we actually managed to pull the fucking dragon in the middle. And me and my buddy, we are talking Discord, and we are laughing so hard at this because everything is going wrong in this Ardenweald area. So back to the Kiss Curse element. Actually, um, the way it should work is that when you overcome one of these affixes and play around it well, you should get a benefit. So, for example, when the tank or actually any player drops necrotic stacks, they should get a buff. So, for example, if a tank has 50 necrotic stacks and manages to reset them, um, he should get about maybe a 50% damage buff. I mean, that might be a little bit high, but you get the point. Maybe about 10%. Like, um, it should depend on the amount of stacks that you reset. So this way, um, every affix that maybe very much hated from everyone could be very cool. Um, and this might actually be a possibility that Blizzard will do this because um, you can see that they are trying to implement this Kiss Curse with the Keystone level 10 affix that comes new with every season. So, for example, here we have the relics that obviously need to be killed, and we have to dodge some of their mechanics. But they are giving you a buff, so they are actually kind of fun to play around. Um, and sometimes it's well done, sometimes not that much. But I think this FX is actually kind of cool for this season because obviously you can pump it a little bit more AoE at the start of every pull. You just need to be a little bit careful to get the right relic and don't get fucking the movement speed and damage reduction relic every single pull because survival hunter is throwing in 50 bombs and proccing and can't hold um, on his cooldowns. Oh, this is kind of cool as well. So I think bosses aren't getting bolstered anymore at this point already because they fixed it at some point, and he's just pulling everything into the boss, and the survival hunters are like, okay, we can manage that and just nuke everything. And see, these are the things that you will start to do if you play with people that are doing high keys. And we actually started doing this in our group as well on uh, bigger bigger keys. So this is one of the ways that you can make up time and be efficient. So back to the Kiss Curse. I kind of want to talk about the next affix that is coming to the 9.2.5 season, I think. I'm actually not quite sure because they recently announced the new patch and everything that will be in it, but they didn't really release anything about the new season. Oh yeah, right. The new season, um, and with season I mean uh, the I think it's coming this summer, where you will be able to replay old raid bosses from Shadowlands, and they are giving us a different dungeon rotation, the one where we were able to vote on the key that's coming from Warlords of Draenor, I think, where we're getting this rail something depot, and we are getting obviously the two Mechagon keys, like basically every mega dungeon, I think. So Karazhan as well from Legion. Um, and I'm not quite sure if Tazavesh stays in the rotation, but I wouldn't mind because actually Gambit is a really fun key and Streets I don't mind too much either. Um, so right, what I wanted to talk about is the next level Keystone 10 affix that is coming to the next season. Um, will be some of the Dreadlords will hide amongst the packs throughout the dungeon, and I think is the way it works is you will choose a stat from the first Dreadlord that you kill. Um, for example, haste versus mastery or crit, and every time you will kill a new Dreadlord, you will get more of that stack. So this is the same Kiss Curse aspect that they were doing recently a lot. Um, and this reminds me a little bit about corruption. So because I don't know if you guys have played in the last season of Battle for Azeroth, but there you had your items that could forge with corruption, like basically Titan Forge. It was a random chance to get corruption on them for most of the items. Some raid items had preset corruptions on them. But these were bonuses that you would get on your items. For example, one of the better ones was 12% of a given stat, haste, crit, verse, or mastery. And you could alter the way that your character plays a lot. For example, one of my favorite things that I did was play Fire Mage with a 100% crit rate, and it was so fun because I mean, you were basically always in combustion and blasting all the time. It wasn't the best build because stacking mastery was actually better on Fire Mage, but it was really, really fun. And depending on how much stat you will get from these Dreadlords when you kill them, this might be um, altering the way your character plays as well, in the same way that corruptions did. I mean, obviously, corruptions would bump your crit up for about, I don't know, maybe 50%. Or, no, not 50%, but give you 50% more crit stat. Basically, triple or quadruple your stats, which was actually crazy. I don't think it will be that crazy, but yeah, overall, it has the potential to be that good. The way these dreadlords work is that there will be a lot of smaller dreadlords that have not that many mechanics and a few bigger ones throughout the dungeon, which actually have a little bit of challenging mechanics. So when you kill the small ones, you are getting a little bit of the chosen stat, and if you kill the bigger ones, you are getting a good amount of these stats. And the interesting thing is that you might want to alter your dungeon route towards getting a lot of stats. So yeah, we finished the key, actually in time. It wasn't even close. 10 minutes left, and as you can see, you can finish keys with goofing around a lot if you just have enough damage and raise to world first raider in your tank role.
Fucking
So,
hate Brady and being so lucky, dude. I'd run this shit like 5,000 prog, dude.
oh, right now he's
Thank me later, dude.
he's he's he hates the Serverlander because that dude got an item that he wants, and Fragnance was running this key so much. But yeah, guys, uh,
Being traded by
so
360.
if you want to see more keys from
Hot.
Fragnance, um, just leave a comment and I can upload like 2 more keys, maybe Mist key, the other side key that I played as an
Vänta, vad håller
elemental
du ens?
shaman,
Don't tell me
because
shit
well
like
I was sick of
stable
being
from
target
I
capped,
do feel like I need a better routine.
and yeah, half of a
Watching
necrotic
this
wake
video and
key.
shit.
But
Just
apart
thinking
from
about
that,
quitting.
stay tuned, and I might be uploading some
Find
Windwalker
out what's
keys
better.
and see how well they are doing in single target next week
Also,
after they get
French
buffed
toast.
a lot. So, guys, until then, stay tuned. Bye bye. Take care.